So in my long form videos on YouTube, you can go watch one of them. It literally says, hey, this is AI Anik. While the real Anik's out building his empire, building great businesses, I'm here to represent him and teach you blah, 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 blah today. So that's it. A little quote shows up in every video. On the shorts, it's in the description of every video. So it literally says, AI Anik on the hunt again. You know, digital Anik on the hunt again. Today reporting with blah, blah, blah. And I have had no problems.
Today, I'm very excited to be joined by Anik Singal. If you don't know who Anik is, he's an AI enthusiast who specializes in marketing, sales, and productivity. Anik is the founder of HeyGen, a software company that's building a suite of AI tools focused on agentic AI for marketing and sales. His AI-focused content is getting tens of millions of views per month. Anik, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm great, man, Michael. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk about this.
I'm excited you're here. Today, Anik and I are going to explore how to create high-quality written and video content that grows your reach without a huge time investment. Now, Anik, before we get into all that, I'd love to hear a little bit of your journey into AI. You can start wherever you want to start.
Sure. So marketing and sales, I've been in now 24 years almost. I started out of college by accident. I was actually studying finance. I don't know how the heck I found my way into marketing. But back then, you know, we have an industry today called the creator industry, and it's an actual industry. But I've been in that industry and teaching that industry for 24 years before it was an industry. So back then you would sell PDFs for $47, and there was a whole business model behind that. And I fell in love with that. So I started to build my business, got really well known in the marketing space, paid traffic, copywriting, funnels, conversion, direct marketing, essentially. And through that, got connected to a lot of the software companies out there, a lot of the top marketing gurus, so to say, influencers, and just kept building that network up over the last 20 plus years. In that time, I built a software company. I was co-founder of a company called Singal, which I exited in 2021 personally. The company is still going. It's going great. And so I've had a lot of experience in marketing and sales specifically. And then, you know, a little bit of experience, kind of exposure, I would say, to the SaaS world, right? The technology world of it. Now, I built up a massive following online. I'm blessed to have a couple million people that follow me on the various different platforms. And 20 plus years in, first of all, the time flew by. I remember asking myself a question a few years ago where I thought, is this what I'm going to do forever? Like I had a problem with it. I love teaching marketing. I absolutely love direct marketing, but it was starting to get pretty repetitive and mundane for me. It was something I had really figured out I was the master of, and I kind of was, every room I entered, I'd be one of the best ones in the room, and I don't want to be in a room where I'm one of the best. So around the same time, we had a little bit of a run-in with the FTC that didn't like some of our marketing material in one of our education companies, and that lasted 18 months. That investigation was interesting, grueling, and came out, done, settled. It's been long gone and done for a while. But in that time, I discovered something, and that was most marketers have no freaking idea what it is that the FTC means by half of their rules. And every marketer I have met or talked to is violating the rules. And so when we started trying to teach it, I continued to see the resistance. I continued to see the confusion. Someone like me had been 18 months in the belly of the beast, so I learned it, but I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. And so that was right around 2022 AI, right? ChatGPT comes out December of 2022. It's like the big thing. Everyone's talking about it. I hated it. I was on the complete opposite end of that spectrum. You know why? Because copywriting is my trade. That's where I started. That was the first thing I learned from one of the best copywriters in the world. I hate writing. I love copywriting. And so the first marketing field that people were violently attacking with the threat of AI was copywriting. So I think I took it personal at some level. I thought, this is ridiculous. There's no way that AI is going to replace copywriters. This is nonsense. It's a fad. And I was closed off to it until I heard someone one day say, ChatGPT will replace lawyers. Now, that particular day, I had received a very large legal bill for compliance review. So talk about hitting a nerve. And I thought, maybe I do need to just take a peek. No one has to know at ChatGPT. So I went in there and started playing around with it. And it was interesting. It was cool. But I thought, can I build a tool that uses ChatGPT, prompts it behind the scenes, and can do some of this compliance checking for me. They say it's so smart. I don't want to get rid of my attorneys, but can I reduce 90% the reliance I have on them? I wait weeks sometimes. I spend tens of thousands of dollars. And so I start trying to build this tool. And lo and behold, guess what? I was right, Michael. It was working like crap. It was not doing a good job. So you would think I stand correct. I mean, I stand victorious and I walk away and say AI is nonsense. No, for some reason, I became a dog with a bone. And I was like, why is everybody else so excited? Why are the top like, you know, analysts and this and that? Like, why is everyone all crazy about this? What am I missing? I'm not seeing something. So I start digging and digging and deeply researching AI and trying to understand, what is this thing? And the more layers I fold, I'm trying to solve the problem. I'm trying to get this tool I built to work because my problem is so big. I want a solution. And I just keep digging and digging and digging. And at a point, there's a day, a time when I go, oh crap, I get it. And my entire perspective on AI changed. When I fully understood through, you know, under the hood, how it worked, I thought, oh, we are all in either trouble. This is either the best thing that's ever happened to us or the worst thing. I still don't know which one of the two it is, but hey, if you can't beat them, join them. So in the meantime, I'm using it. And I never looked back. And after that, I'm an AI enthusiast, as you called me, an AI addict. I can't sleep at night. I'm up until 3 or 4 playing with the latest tools. And just blown away every day by what's happening. And it's such an honor at this point to be building a business and a company where every day I feel like I get to come to a playground and we're just playing with these cool tools and figuring out what to do with them and how to grow them and how to scale them and how to help small businesses all over the world. So
bring us up to where we are. Yeah, where are we today with this, with your business? Tell us. So like, what are you doing now?
Yeah, so right now we're about 4 months into agentic AI. We've raised $4 million. We're raising more capital now. We're in the process of acquiring 7 different businesses and also building 2 in-house tools. So we are busy. And come around September, October, when we're also in September hosting our first ever agentic AI summit, will be our big coming out party. That's our launch party. And we will have made a few acquisitions and we'll be launching a killer tool called Agentic IQ at the end of September. So we started around May officially, well, April, I would say, officially, and September will be really when we are ready to show what we've been working on to the world. But we are sticking to marketing and sales applications. That's our currently, and then eventually we'll go into health and financial too. But yeah, we're busy. We've got multiple companies that we're looking to acquire, and we're also building companies in-house.
Well, and part of your story, which you didn't share, is that you've been crushing it on the content side. Give us a quick minute on what you've been doing with that.
Yeah. So about 25 million as of last count, going up, thankfully, million views a month using what the industry, by the way, everyone in the space is like fallen in love with this. I call him AI Anik. And you would think that people would be like, oh God, I don't want to watch this. It's AI. No, I'm just open about it. And they love it. They make jokes about it. I show up on webinars. People are like, is this really you or is it AI Anik? And we've just found a way to do it. So it's classy, it's great content, and it's generating these views because it's good content, right? People are coming back more and more. So we're getting about 500 to 1,000 new followers a day across all the different social media platforms. And this is just one of the ways we're using AI in our business, but it's probably one of the coolest ways that I think is very relevant to your audience, of course, is using it for social media, written, video, both, you know, and images. We're creating images now with AI as well.
Love it. Okay, cool. Well, first of all, amazing story. And I'm very excited to dig into this. There are plenty of people listening right now who are marketers or small business owners like you and me who are asking this question, why should we use AI to scale our social media content? So what I'd love you to do is kind of tell them, you know, what's the upside when this is done really well? What's the benefit? How has it helped you? And how do you think it could help others?
Consistency, time, freedom. I mean, where's the list stop? So for me, here's what it's done. Okay, before, if I wanted to do this, it would take me hours upon hours a week of filming, researching, recording. Then they have to take that recording and process it and send it to our editing team. And there's just so many steps. And so I would fall off the wagon because I'm an entrepreneur building multiple companies. I'm busy. There are some weeks where I got lots of calls, lots of this, lots of that, and you can't miss it, right? Consistency is key with social media. You have to be on a schedule and consistent. So this allows your team to do this for you. And I don't even think about it. Actually, the joke is I get up every morning and look at what AI Anik is saying so I can keep up with what's happening in the AI world. And so freedom, time, and in the end, let me share a little interesting stat with you. 99% of Fortune 500 companies now report using AI in some way. 75% of small businesses report not using it at all. And so here's the thing, pure competitively, if you don't start using AI, whether it be for social media or some other aspect in your business, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're going to get left behind real fast because you're not going to be as efficient and as effective as your competitor. And the timeline that you have to adapt is small. It's not years, it's months at the rate that things are moving. So that's why our mission at Agentic AI has been to bring AI to the hands of small businesses, because small businesses are too confused, overwhelmed, they're not technical, but they're going to get left behind because these bigger companies have huge budgets and they're deploying AI and they're automating as much and they're able to start laying off 30, 40, 50% of their staff. Imagine what that's going to do to their prices and all of that. So freedom, efficiency, time, consistency. I mean, I could go on for an hour on why you should be using AI.
Love it. Okay. So when it comes to creating content with AI, social content, what do we need to be thinking about before we get started?
Okay, pure and simple. I see people address social media in multiple ways. So before we even talk about AI, let's just talk about social media in general, because I've gone through this journey and this battle with social media for years until I landed up on what I feel is the right thing for me. And it's not for everybody. Okay, you basically have to first decide one thing. You're going to be one of 3 types of social media influencers. Are you an entertainer? Are you an educator? Or are you a journalist? And it will really behoove you to pick one. There is no right or wrong answer, but your whole strategy evolves based on that. If you're an entertainer, you're like Mr. Beast, or you're like one of the many couples on TikTok that just make fun, random, stupid videos that are entertaining to watch, where the audience just falls in love with the couple and watches whatever the heck they're doing, or falls in love with the person and just watches whatever they're doing. It's the most freedom you get. It's the easiest way to grow and scale a following if you're entertaining, but it's also the least profitable. You have to get to a pretty big following and then you make brand endorsement deals. It's a different kind of monetization. If you are an educator, which is where I fell, you are teaching people how to do something, okay? But you have to understand at that point, what is your topic? This was a big challenge for me because I love copywriting, I love funnels, I love paid traffic, I love direct marketing, I love AI, I love personal development, I love productivity, and you can't be all of these things. Pick one. This was very difficult for me, Michael. Like for me to just say, I am picking AI, I did it because that is truly what I am the most passionate about now. That's what my business, the big company I'm building now is all about. But sometimes there are days where I'm like, oh, I really, but everyone will just think all I do is AI, I do all this too. No, pick one. And educate, teach people how to use it. You will build a following slower, it'll be smaller, but it'll be that much more profitable, that much more responsive, that much more effective. Third, journalist, great way. If you're in an industry that has a lot of evolving things like AI or any other industry that like investing, you're a journalist. Here's what happened today. Here's the latest news. And I personally, again, think you should be niched and specific and be giving news on just one thing. A couple of people I like to follow the most on social media are AI journalists. They're giving the updates. Now, I don't necessarily do that. I do some of my education is around new tools that came out, but here's why I'm not an AI journalist. Because I need a few days for my team to create the scripts, process them, edit them, and all of that. If I was doing it all live, I'd be an AI journalist. Sure, why not? Have my team do research in the morning. By 9 a.m., I'm filming. By hopefully 12 p.m., 1 p.m., the team's edited and it's releasing. But I don't want that kind of pressure. So for me, it fell perfect. I'm an educator. I picked a niche. I'm in AI. So here's what you need to do. First, you need to figure out which of those 3 categories you're in. 2, you need to figure out what topic you're about. The only topic that you're allowed free reign in is entertainment. Number 3, get over your fear of AI. You know how I got over it? Because people figure it out. AI is not that good yet. It's almost there, 6 more months. But right now you can still, if you watch it close enough, you can see the little issues. I just disclose it. Yes, Sherlock Holmes, it's AI. I said that. And what I just tell people is if you don't like it, don't watch it. And here I am getting 20+ million views a month, climbing, and people know it, people love it, people joke about it. So just disclose it. And once you disclose it, own it. It's not a big deal. But you know.
How do you disclose it? Just like, tell me how you do that. Like, just so
oh yeah, great question. So in my long form videos on YouTube, you can go watch one of them. It literally says, hey, this is AI Anik. While the real Anik's out building his empire, building great businesses, I'm here to represent him and teach you about blah, 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 blah today. So that's it. A little quote shows up in every video. On the shorts, it's in the description of every video. So it literally says, AI Anik on the hunt again. You know, Digital Anik on the hunt again. Today reporting with blah, blah, blah. And I have had no problems. We are months in, God knows how many tens of millions of views in, and I've had zero problems or lashback or issues. Yeah, I get some smart ass comments, but you're going to get that no matter what. I don't care what you do. You're going to get that, right? That's the wonders of social media. But I haven't had any problems. I own it. I was on a webinar last night, Michael, and people were joking, saying, is it really you? Prove it. Or is it AI Anik? And then when I said it's really me, they're like, oh, can we have AI Anik? Like it's how your audience starts to love and adore it. It's crazy.
Did you have to shift any of your belief systems or whatever to be able to, any mindset shifts that people might have to go through to, especially with video? Did you struggle with that one a little bit?
Absolutely. The biggest mindset shift I had to make was I thought people would be really angry at me, hate me, and would stop following me because they thought that I was putting in no effort by going AI. And that held me back for quite some time until finally the problem got to such a big number where I was like, I don't have the time to solve it, but I absolutely need to be on social media. And I thought, let's do a 30-day experiment. If it backfires, we can stop. It's not going to destroy my 20 years of brand. I did a 30-day experiment. Things were taken off. Everyone loved it. People are messaging me saying, man, I love that video. It was really helpful. I know it's AI, but like, it's awesome. And I thought, oh, well, shoot, right? Let's do another 30 days. And then next thing you know, we're 4 or 5 months in or 4 months in at this point and no looking back. But that was my biggest mental block was I was so convinced that my followers will be upset that I'm using AI. And at this point, I'm finding that they just want to know how they can do it. The most questions I get are, how are you doing this? And how can I do it? Never is it hate about the fact that I'm doing it.
Very cool. Okay. So this is fascinating. We're going to get into some of the details now. Topics. You mentioned, you know, obviously when you get on the educator path, there's lots of topics you could choose to focus on. So how do you decide the topics to cover in your content, and any tips for others who are maybe wanting to follow your lead?
Yeah. Oh man, I got a great one for you. So this is a lot easier. Make it, look, right? What's that line? Keep it simple, stupid. So keep these things simple. People think that going viral or having a lot of success on social media is some kind of like intricate art. And I was talking to an SEO expert once, and they literally said, on-page SEO, get a bunch of links, write good stuff, you'll rank. I was like, what? They're like, that's it. There is no, don't be sold the rocket science. Social media, you know what I do? I'll give you a simple rule, 10x rule. It's a 10x rule. And I'm willing to let it go as low as 5x, but 10x is my sweet spot. I want you to find 3 to 5 creators that are doing what you want to do. So entertain, if you want to be an entertainer, they're an entertainer. If you want to be an educator, they're an educator in your niche, in your space, or if they're a journalist in your niche. Find 3 to 5. They're out there. Look between TikTok, Instagram, whatever. Trust me, they're out there. YouTube. And specifically ones that are doing shorts and ones that you like, ones you find yourself watching and you think they're good and they have a sizable following, right? Whatever that means in your space. It could be hundreds of thousands of followers or millions of followers, whatever. And I want you to just, there are on all of these platforms, you can bring up the home page, the profile page where it has all the videos listed. And on all of them, it shows you the view count. You can see it all in one thing. You can just scroll through and you see little, you know, I do it on my phone, and you see, and I want you to look for what I call the 10x rule. Here's what you're going to see. Video has 1,600 views, 1,500 views, 1,200 views, 2,000 views, 38,000 views. Huh.
So look for the outliers, huh?
Look for the outliers. So you know that the average video for them is getting about 1,500 views. I'm not sciencing this. I'm literally eyeballing it. About 1,500. So if I see any video on their account that's above 15,000, I'm interested in the topic. Because I believe at that point, there was something about the video that took it viral, not their account following. And so we look at that topic. Now, never, ever am I going to disrespect any creator and yank their material. I just want the topic. Now, I find the topic. Next thing I do, I type the topic into the main platform. I try to look at some of the other videos in that topic. Real quick scan. And if I see a pattern, you'll see a pattern. Hey, wow, these videos all have a lot of views. All right, I'm going to watch a few of them. I'm going to grab their URL. I'm going to put it aside for the next piece where we create content. And I also let it be a topic that I have some knowledge on. I'm not a coder. I'm not a developer. So if there's a video that's going super viral on this intricate coding technique to use on Casper for development, I can't help myself. If I make that video, I'm going to end up ripping off content from somebody, and I don't want to do that because I'm not that person. So I'm going to make a video about topics I know, right? So that I can inject my own experience and my own thoughts into it. But I'm looking for these outliers. Once you start tracking 4 or 5 of these experts, I promise you, you're going to have a plethora of topics before you even know it. That's it. That's what we do. We don't do any other fancy dancy. I don't use tools. I don't just scan, look for the 10x, boom, topic.
All right. When you're looking at the top videos, sometimes it's not just the topic. Sometimes it's also the format too. Are you also looking at that as well? Because you know how on YouTube, well, on a lot of these platforms, the first couple of seconds of the video really could have all the difference in the world and the thumbnails and all that stuff. Or are you just simply looking at topic at this point?
Just looking at topic, because most creators follow the same format. So, you know, it's very rare that you see a creator that keeps changing their format for each of their shorts. They typically follow. So that becomes a standard, right? So now I'm looking for the outliers. Like that just becomes kind of standard. So not really that interested in the format as much as I am in the topic.
Now, why are you looking at shorts versus long form video? I'm just curious on that.
Good question. Well, so, you know, I believe if you're going to use AI for brand building and for getting the view counts, it's so much easier to do with shorts. Creating long form, we do it. We create one long form right now a week. It's a lot more work. Okay,
so you're typically doing 60 to 90 seconds. Is that kind of your sweet spot somewhere in there?
60 seconds, about 60 seconds. And so you're just going to get a lot more output. Shorts get a heck of a lot more views than long form does. It's a great place to start. Long form is amazing. Don't get me wrong. You get some of the highest quality viewers. But it's a little bit more work, takes a bit more time. So first I would ask everybody here to master the shorts and then move into the long form.
Okay, we're going to take a diversion into the written word for a second. But before we do, I want to ask, does this also help you find topics to write about? Does that make sense? Like if you identify these topics in these short form videos, we're going to get back to AI and video, but we're now pivoting over to the written word because you talked about video and writing, right? And we're looking for topics. Is there any reason these topics could not also be applicable to writing?
Absolutely. We can go one step further. So I use it as market research for my ads. Okay. So I look at which topics are popping out. I want to make an ad about that topic, like make an ad using that hook of the topic if it's relevant, because there's something viral about that topic, right? Something I'm saying in the first 5 seconds that seems to be getting people's attention. Absolutely. It makes it into the written content, makes it into our newsletters. I want to use the first 5 seconds of whatever I'm saying in that video in my subject line, because obviously it's getting attention. So I utilize that as market data for myself, my business, as I go to write copy, as I create webinars, sales pages, long form. So one of the biggest things we do is track our short form to see how they're doing. And then the best ones that are popping on my channel, we pull out and make it into a long form. So that's another reason why I love shorts, because you're going to be able to output a lot more, right? 7 a week or more. We're going to go to 14 a week soon. That every little video you put out there is research for you. So yes, it translates over into all of those formats.
All right, let's talk about how you actually write with AI, because everyone listening is creating some sort of written content. You know what I mean? Like it's like, it's almost assured you're either writing emails or you're writing text posts or you're, you know, using text in your ads or whatever with images. So talk to me a little bit about like the AI tools that you're using specifically to write AI. I know you mentioned one of them that you're excited about. So please feel free to share that.
Sure. There's two. There's 2 strategies I can give you, and I'll tell you the easy. Well, no, they're both easy, but I'll give you the shorter, less complex, still gets you good results. And then I'll give you what we're doing, which takes a little bit longer, but man, the results are much better. So first and foremost, Claude. Just use Claude. Claude projects, amazing. Okay.
Love them.
So you go into Claude, you create a project, you put a bunch of stuff you like, you put your voice in there, you put some information about the topic you want to write about, and you give it some examples and you let it go. And it does a freaking brilliant job. but it's pretty limited in what you can put in there. And so you're going to have some limitations. You're going to have to take extra time to transcribe stuff. You're going to have to just take extra time to do stuff. And so we move into Get Poppy. This is the tool that we're really loving and using. And I think they've done a brilliant job. No association. I'm friends. Ironically, I actually have a call with them today. I just love the platform. So just, you know, I don't get anything out of this. But Get Poppy.ai.
Poppy.ai, which is getpoppy.ai. Cool.
Yeah, getpoppy.ai. Yeah. And here's what they've done. So if anyone's ever seen,
by the way, Poppy, just like the flower. Right? So
yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah, Poppy. So if anyone's ever seen like a Mira board, right? Or just imagine a board where you can just dump stuff. Literally, like just dump, like brain just pop, put whatever, right? So what they've allowed you to do is create this board. And in that board, you can throw a YouTube link, you can throw an audio file, a link to an audio file, a website URL, a text document. You can throw as much information as you want, which goes light years beyond what Claude Projects allows. And you can organize it into little boxes if you want. Like, hey, this is my voice. This is topic expertise. This is my best performing shorts in the past. And then what you do is you just connect those boxes to a chat box, okay, in the middle. And that chat box allows you to integrate with either ChatGPT or Claude. I think they've added a couple more, but those are the only ones we like to use. We use Claude. Now, what is happening is you've built your own something called a custom RAG system. Don't ask me what RAG stands for. I have no freaking idea.
Retrieval augmented something or another.
There you go.
Retrieval augmentation, I think, or something.
I'll use the analogy that finally made it make sense for me. My best friend is super technical and I could not understand it. And he goes, okay, fine. It's a brain. And I was like, okay. He's like, it's a brain. So what you're doing is when you prompt ChatGPT or Claude, you're letting it use the world's knowledge and world's information and everything it has access to. So the chances of it sounding like you are tougher. When you use a RAG system, so when you use Poppy and you fed it all this information, you're telling it, go ahead and use the information in the world, but use this first and use these as guidelines. And so it's making this big world of LLMs smaller for you, but yet utilizing the power of the big LLM. It's awesome. It's really powerful. So what we love about this is we have created these boards where we have our best performing, shorts. So the voice, the mechanism, how it starts, it learns from that. Like, these are the best. This is what he wants to write more. Like, we've given a ton of my content, what I say about AI, my knowledge, my marketing background, ton of information about me. So it's got that to pull from. And then we'll do a research dump where I pull the 4 or 5 videos on the topic, I pull some articles on the topic, and I dump it all into one place. And now I'm able to connect those worlds with one chat, which is brilliant. And I'm able to go in and say, all right, write me, I gave you some information about what I think about this topic. Write me a video following my past examples that do really well, utilizing the information I gave you. Write me a 60-second viral script.
Now, hold on a second. I love this. But we're talking about the written word right now. So can you say, write me an article instead?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Write me an article, write me an email, write me a blog post, write me a social media post. This is how we do our written post as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Whatever you fed it, it'll use as an example. So I said above, I said, hey, give the shorts as an example. So delete that. If you want to write an article, change that box and give it article examples that have done well for you. So whatever you've given it examples of, it'll output.
So just so we're crystal clear, so everybody understands this, Poppy AI allows you to basically, unlike Claude, connect video and external links, for example, and you can kind of put all this together into kind of a board in a visual way, and then you can use Claude in this case, right, to connect the dots together. And Claude effectively, and you're also giving it like, here's my voice style, here's my like values, all these kind of things are kind of in there, right? And then you or someone on your team can, I would imagine, when a new news item pops out, put these articles from all these different news sources. Maybe it's from actually OpenAI, ChatGPT has a brand new update about a new thing that they're doing. And then you can say, write me an article. And that it does that. Is that effectively what I'm hearing you say? Or
yeah,
yeah,
you nailed it.
So what do you do with like it the output of it. So it's obviously using Claude's API in this particular case, but it's pulling all these different sources together, which allows it to use audio and video and third-party sites and all that kind of stuff, which is the magic. Talk to me about what do you do with the output once you get it? Because you're probably just not factually just copy and pasting it. There's probably some actions you take. Yeah.
Yeah, we have human review as a part of each of the elements, and so we still feel that that's important. I don't want to just blind trust AI. And we've caught, I mean, look, AI hallucinates, it makes stuff up. So we take the written document and we pull it out, or whatever it wrote. So if we were creating a video, we have different steps. Well, actually, the first review is the same. So we take the written part, we'll have a human editor on our team who knows my voice, they know, what to look for, and they'll just quickly first scan, does it sound like Anik? And that typically 9 times out of 10 is fine. Okay, they look for some clear markers that show it's AI. Like AI loves to do the double dash. Everyone knows this. Everybody knows.
Yeah, the M dash. So if it's over M dash, then you'll take them out or whatever, right?
We'll take them out, and certain words that we wouldn't use. Again, Claude is really good. It won't put them in if it's not my style, but sometimes it does. And then they go through and look for any outlandish statement, any facts, stats, studies, mentions of anything, and you got to stat check it. I mean, so what we love to do is we'll have something completely different open, like Gemini. Okay? It's just open on the side, and we'll grab that script, pop it into Gemini, and say, can you source everything here? Is this all true? Okay?
Are you capable of asking, is there anything in here you cannot source? I mean, is it that smart? Or is it better to ask, are you asking it to verify? Okay, a couple thoughts here. You could find something in there that you're not sure is accurate, like it's referencing some sort of study or something like that, right? And that's the obvious thing you could say, tell me if that's true. Or is it good enough where you could say fact check everything in here and make sure nothing here is inaccurate?
It's good enough, but break down the prompt. It'll make it better. So the first thing I'll say is, in this article, can you please pull out anything that is said that would need to be substantiated that we should look into? And it'll come back and say, here's the 7 things, and say, great. Are they true? And so I broke it down into 2 steps. Anytime with prompting, and this is why chain prompting became so important. And this is why with the agents and agentic AI, they say to train each agent to be very specific on what it does. When you can break it down, you're going to get better and more accurate results. And it's not going to hallucinate and get overwhelmed as much. One of the things that makes me laugh about AI is that it's learned and trained from humans so well that it gets overwhelmed and it gets confused with too much stuff, which it really shouldn't. It's a computer, but it does. So break it down. Just say, pull out everything. And then, is it true? And mind you, depends on how picky you want to be. In my case, I'm very picky because I'm a big public figure and I don't want to get stuff wrong. So Gemini comes back and says, yay. Now my team takes that to a different one, like maybe ChatGPT, same thing again. All right. And if there's any suspicion on anything, then they're going to go to Google and quickly check. And if there's anything that they just can't seem to figure out and don't know if it's true, they just remove it. Manually edited that out of the script.
Okay. Some people are listening and they're asking me this. They want me to ask this question. Anik, are you just fully trusting your team to publish on your behalf without checking? Was it that way in the beginning?
The team that I'm trusting have been with me for years. So yes, it was.
Okay.
Regardless of AI or not, I am.
So if you don't have a team, you can do exactly what Anik just said, and then you can proof it yourself, right? Because this, for people that don't have a team in the background that it's managing their social, this is something you could just do exactly what Anik just said. And if you know your stuff, you're going to feel, sometimes you're going to be like, nah, that doesn't seem right? But you can confirm whether it's true or not following these processes, right?
It sounds like it's seconds, everyone. I'm telling you, it's seconds. It becomes robotic. Now, I want to be very clear. If I just hired someone yesterday off of Upwork to run my social media, heck no. Am I trusting them like that? Right. The people that I'm trusting have been with me for years, years and years, and I know them. I would leave my children with them to let them babysit my kids. Like that. That's the level of trust we have established over time. So if there is someone brand new who comes in, they're going to be monitored by one of those people that I trust or myself. So absolutely, I stand behind that. You've got to check everything. I'm in a bit of a different state. I've been running a company for 20 years. I have great people, but these steps are not. They don't take long at all. They're very quick.
Love it. Okay. So with this Poppy tool that you're talking about, you could produce a script if you want to for a TikTok reel or a short.
Yeah.
In addition to all the other kinds of content we just have been talking about, like long form written posts and emails and all that stuff. So let's talk newsletters. Let's talk about the video side of it. This is where it gets a little more technical. So talk to us a little bit about how you go now from here. Let's say you've got a great script and now you want to make a video. What do we do?
Yeah. Okay. So 2 tools that are still reigning champions, in my opinion. I haven't seen anyone really touch them yet. I'm sure someone will eventually at some point. ElevenLabs for audio. And I will tell you, there are some tools starting to come out now that are getting close, but ElevenLabs still reigns. ElevenLabs for the audio, HeyGen for the video. Now, HeyGen has an audio component to it. We have found it to be not nearly as good as ElevenLabs. So what we do, next step, we got a script, finalized, done. If you want to go to ElevenLabs, one of the first things you have to check the script for. So this is where it gets a little manual. And we actually have on our team someone that we kind of call an audio engineer, but it's really not that complex. But they've been trained specifically on like ElevenLabs and making things sound right. We're going to go through the script real quick. We're going to remove dashes. We're going to remove ellipses. We're going to remove semicolons, all these extra punctuations, because ElevenLabs inserts random sounds and does weird things when those punctuations come up. So we keep it simple to commas and periods. And so that's the first thing. And you can, by the way, just tell AI to do it. So literally tell AI like, hey, can you just give me the script again and remove all punctuation except for commas and periods? And it'll just do it right there on the spot.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. So you take that and you paste it into ElevenLabs. Now you have hopefully trained at this point ElevenLabs on your voice. You need about 3 hours of audio to do that. Same situation, same place, same mic. So mine is trained off of audio done right here on this mic.
Could it just be podcast recordings, or does it need to be a script that you read?
Oh no, just I didn't do anything specific for it. So it could be whatever, right?
Okay.
It could be podcast recording, just same mic, same location, same acoustics. Will give you better results. Don't use your phone mic and things like that. If you can, please use a mic. Now, this is a very expensive mic. You don't need that. A lapel mic nowadays is $20, connects straight to your phone. That's great. That'll work. But just some kind of mic. And now, you've trained your voice on ElevenLabs. This is what you do. You copy paste the script, hit go. And you just pick your voice, because ElevenLabs has a bunch of voices, by the way. They have a bunch of pre-trained voices. I don't use them. I want to use mine. So I pick my name, hit go. It takes a minute or so, generates the voice. Then I can listen to it. Now, this is where the audio engineer we have on our team has to listen to the whole thing, because there are going to be random little inserts of things, or there's going to be a word like Anik. If I ever say my own name, good luck for AI to know how to say my name. And you can't really teach it yet. I'm sure that's something ElevenLabs is going to come up with. I hope they do. But right now, what we'd have to do is just change how my name is spelled and then regenerate the script. So maybe O-N-I-K, it's going to read as Anik instead of A-N-I-K.
So like phonetics, like, and there's some probably last names for sure for a lot of people that it gets messed up, right? So what about like even words? You know how sometimes the same word might be pronounced differently. How do you deal with that kind of situation?
If I can, I just replace the word.
Oh, really? Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just replace it with something that doesn't, I just replace the sentence with a different kind of way of saying the same thing, so I don't have that word involved.
Is this where your engineer is essentially controlling the script and then re-rendering the darn thing is really what you're saying?
Yeah. And again, I know this sounds like a long process. It ain't. It's really not. It's pretty quick, and you get pretty used to it. And AI out the gate, ElevenLabs does 95% of it perfect. So it's really only just a few words here and there, a few punctuations. You take them out, hit regenerate, it takes 30 seconds, boom, you're done. And so we take a little bit of time with that, but you gotta, so at each of these steps, we have human review still. So this is AI assisted. It's not fully autonomous. Someone asked me if I've created an agent that does it. And I said, no, I haven't, because I still need human oversight. So once you are happy with the audio, you hit download, and it gives you an audio file. You take that file, walk over to HeyGen. Now, hopefully you've trained the HeyGen on your video, which we can talk about, because I have some specific tips.
Yeah, let's talk about that right now. Go for it.
Okay. So save the audio, put it aside. Now it's time to train your HeyGen model. All right. We went through a big journey on this. one thing you have to know about HeyGen, I've been tracking these guys for about a year and a half or so now. Every 6 months, it's almost every Jan and every June, they come up with a major update. I wonder if they're going to pick up the pace. They've never officially said this. I just noticed it happens every Jan and every June. Jan of this year, 2025, they did a mind-blowing update. Before Jan of 2025, I personally could never have put out an AI Anik and felt good about it. But they made a huge update, and it's still not perfect. Some of the tonality in words, notice how when I say some words, I twist my head, squint my eye, and all of that. It's still getting that down, but they're working on that. So how do you train it? Well, they have their instructions. And here's what we did. We ignored all of their instructions. We found we could train their system better by not listening to a damn thing that they tell you to do. And so what we did was the following. Number one, close up the camera. Okay.
How close up? Just for the podcast audience.
So if
we're talking about like from
close
chest up?
enough that your arms and stuff can't be seen. So like right now I like to use my hands and you can see my hands. No. So
you're talking about like a couple inches below your neck kind of thing? Or shoulder?
Not that maybe? Close. I would say like, yeah, maybe a few inches below your shoulders.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I'm more of a wider shot guy. I don't like too close up. So, but what we're going to do during this now, okay, so first and foremost, close up, better. Number two, well lit, incredibly well lit. So that is so key for high quality. And so if you just don't know how to do lighting kits, cost like $100 or $200 nowadays. Right. Like you can buy rudimentary lighting kits. If you don't know how to do it, seriously, just hire some college kid who's got a video camera and they're probably gonna have a lighting kit. But lighting, superbly important. Number three, you see all these hand motions I'm making. In case you're watching the video, stop it. I don't care if you like to use your hands and stuff in reality. This is what confuses the AI. Just keep your hands below, stop. Here's what happens, because when you're using your hands like this, it still hasn't figured out when to do this. And so it does it at random times and it looks really weird. So just don't use your hands. Number four, I'm not asking you to be robotic. I don't want you to talk like this and I don't want you to hold your head fully still, but try to minimize your eye squints and your head turns and your shake heads and your all those things, because again, it learns those and it doesn't quite know when to fit those in. It fits them in at weird times. It's getting better. I want to be very clear, by the way. They're getting much better. I think maybe a few more months and they're going to nail this. Once they nail this, it's game over, man. I don't think my own mom's going to know when it's my AI video. But I tried. So when I filmed, I did film specifically for HeyGen. Unlike for ElevenLabs, I just used audio I already had. But for HeyGen, I did film arms down, limited, still natural, still doing some head movement, but minimizing it. So I'm giving it material. I'm giving it less room for error. And big part of why people say my AI Anik looks so good and I get so many questions about it is actually the lighting. It's because I'm giving it high quality, great video for it to be able to understand the intricacies and read the pixels and get all that information. And that's it. People have all these like hacks and that's it. I gave you what we've done, not only with myself, but we're doing it now with those who we are publishing, and it works every single time.
For those that are not watching the YouTube video, you have a microphone that's kind of coming in seen here. Are you using that microphone when you're recording? You are not. Okay. So does that mean you have the microphone as a lapel, or what are you doing for the audio, or does it even matter when you're doing this? Doesn't matter, because I'm not going to use HeyGen's audio. But doesn't it need to like look at the sound that's coming out of your lips, or does it really? I mean, oh, okay, sorry. Yes. So yeah, I wear a lapel. Because also for the videos, I'm talking about when you're training. Yeah, when you're training it. Yes. When you're training, we have a really nice lapel mic that's wireless, and so I'll wear that. So got it. Good so catch. For those that have big podcast mics, put on a lapel mic. Hook it up to your computer somehow is what you're saying, right? So you don't have that in. I mean, you can have this thing in front of you if that's the look you want. What about the shirts and stuff and the clothes and all that and the hairstyles? Yeah. So HeyGen calls it scenes, and you can give it multiple scenes. And actually, the more scenes you give it, the better, because it gets more and more of your filming. So I have, same right here, filmed 4, 5, 6 different clothing sets and created 4 or 5 different scenes. And so depending on the video team just kind of picks whichever scene they want. And we discovered that we can even
like create our own scenes outside of this, and we can go to other locations and create scenes. So they can't change your clothes yet. That would be exciting, and I'm pretty sure that's
but
not
you
too far
recommend
away.
so you recommend creating multiple variations with different clothes on,
Absolutely.
and then you can decide which one of them you want to use, and maybe one of them ends
Well,
up coming out better than the other one too.
Yeah, and you want to alternate, right? So, because like every day you post a short, if you're wearing the exact same clothes, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So we built multiple scenes, 5, 6, 7, 10, I don't know how many, and then we just kind of rotate through it. And you know, like I said, and every now and then I'll film some more because we want to retrain. Every now and then we'd like to retrain HeyGens. We just hit the retrain button because their model has evolved, their model has changed, and we want to use the best and latest. So they don't always tell you every time they do it.
We've got ElevenLabs and HeyGen. Connect all the dots on how all this comes together now.
Sure. So now HeyGen's trained up on you. You have your ElevenLabs audio file. You take that file, boop, you dump it into HeyGen, and you hit go. And you pick your scene, and you hit go. And it outputs a video. And most of the time, the video is pretty damn good. It's good to go. And if it isn't, just output again. You know, like if you really don't like it and mess something up, just hit output again, and it'll output you another video with the same, but it's going to use the audio from ElevenLabs, match up your lips as close as it can. It messes up sometimes, so just hit regenerate, and you're going to have a video now that's pretty damn good. Now, this is the part where I will tell you, we have not been able to find a good AI editing tool that satisfies my needs. There are great ones out there, and I think I know which one to put money on is going to solve this problem, but we do still use human editors. So we have trained human editors to still take that video and then chop it up and do all the text.
Cut out the weird stuff if you need to, or pop in on certain things. Is that what you're saying?
B-roll and all of that. But it can get expensive for someone who doesn't have the budget, or it can get arduous. It could take you hours to edit a video properly for like the shorts world. So if and in case you're willing to accept some of the inefficiencies or ineffectiveness in replacement for saving a ton of money or saving a ton of time, SubMagic is my choice. So SubMagic, I think it's submagic.co. I believe
that is correct. Yep, that's correct.
Yeah, I believe they're the closest to being able to do editing. So you pop your video in and it does the editing. It puts the words on, it puts the subtitles on, it does the close-up shots and all of that. It inserts B-roll. It tries to create the video so it's vibrant, like how shorts are supposed to be. And I'll be very genuine. The last time we tested it was probably 6, 7, 8 months ago. And at that time I was like, I see where you're going. I like it. Not quite there yet for me yet. But I'm telling you, I don't think they're many months away. I do need to try them again because I recently heard from somebody that they were really impressed with SubMagic's editing. So I thought, maybe I got to try it again. And apparently they've built an editor tool now that allows you to control some of it. So if they did something you don't like, you can manipulate that right then and there and change it. But I've always had an editing team, you know, for years. So it's a area I'm comfortable having a team. So we have it, so we use it. But I am very much looking forward to the AI video editing tool that'll break that.
I'm sure they're out there. They're coming.
They're coming.
This has been absolutely fascinating. If people want to check you out on the socials, what's your preferred platform for them to follow you on? And then if they potentially want to check out your business, where do you want to send them?
Yeah, so a couple of things. First of all, I'm very active on Facebook, believe it or not. I'm most active on Facebook, so my personal Facebook page has almost 100,000 followers. I post content there every single day. If you message me there, I respond. I'm active on LinkedIn. Go check me out on Anik Singal. UgenticAI.com to learn about our business. But I do want to throw this out there. If you're watching this and it's before September 9th, of 2025, we're doing an amazing summit, our first one ever. We're gonna have 300 people. The tickets are free if you fit a certain criteria. UgenticAI.com/summit. Come meet me in person. It's gonna be at the Ritz-Carlton here in the DC area. It's an amazing event with amazing speakers, all about how to use AI in marketing. And I'm gonna be hanging out and available to talk to everybody. So if the timing right, otherwise, wait for our next year. So we'll be announcing next year soon as well.
Anik Singal, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your insights with us.
Thanks for having me, Michael.